Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday edition of Video Clips. And just a couple of announcements. Remember the upcoming cancer boot camp, which is Friday, July 16th from 7 to 9:30 and Saturday, July 17th from 2 to 4. And we're going to do a very good overview of cancer causation, alternative and conventional treatments, combination plans, decision-making for cancer patients, the role of diet and lifestyle change, and some tips from people who have survived cancer, including terminal cancer, that will be helpful. So if you are interested in the topic, if you have a family member who has cancer, if you are a cancer patient, strongly suggest that you participate. And members are $69 and non-members $99. So trying to make this very affordable for people. And then remember, happy hour tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And that's just, it's a Zoom meeting. We can all see each other. Everybody shares happy stuff. It's the one time during the week when we just say, listen, no matter how bad some things are, we're only going to talk about good things. And so if you haven't participated in one of our happy hours and you're a member, make sure you do it. It really is nice to share good news with friends, and we can have friends all over the world. We're all connected by computers and technology and some of the good things about technology, right? And then remember careers in healthcare. If you're interested in learning more about how you can be helpful, either as a healthcare professional already trained, or if you're not trained, you have no training at all, there is lots of room for people who want to help people with their health who are unhappy with the way their healthcare is being handled right now. All right, so my email address is pampopper@msn.com. Send me an email, we can chat. All right, so soon it's back to school time, and lots of information is being put out about how schools are going to handle COVID precautions and what the Centers for Disease Control is going to do. And so I'm just going to report the news. And then it seems like everybody's being very careful and concerned about safety. All right, so on March 11th, I didn't know anything about this this year, the American Rescue Plan Act was signed into law, which provides $1.9 trillion to help recover from the COVID-19 mess that we've been through. The interesting part for the purposes of schools is that $122 billion of this money is allocated to state education agencies and school districts. The money for the schools will be provided via a sub-fund, if you will, called the American Rescue Plan Elementary and Secondary School Relief Fund. So in order to qualify for the funding, and it's used for a variety of things, including helping kids who got behind as a result of being out of school, or they weren't able to distance learn, or all that sort of thing. So some of the money is going there, but a lot of it is going to areas that have to do with Centers for Disease Control guidance. So the school has to include, they have to develop a plan called Safe Return to In-Person and Continuity of Services Plan, posted on their website by today, actually, which means that you can look this up for your own local school district, which I would encourage you to do. And it has to include information about the extent to which the school or school district intends to address the Centers for Disease Control guidance in the areas of universal and correct wearing of masks, physical distancing, hand washing and respiratory etiquette, cleaning and maintaining healthy facilities, contact tracing, including isolation and quarantine in collaboration with the local health departments, diagnostic and screening testing, and efforts to improve vaccinations to educators, staff, and students as well. Now, this plan that the school system puts together is supposed to be reviewed every 6 months through September 30th of 2023. So there will be regular reviews and updates that everybody can look forward to. So what I decided to do after I found out about this is see if local school systems in my area, which is Central Ohio, have posted these regulations and what they plan to do. And so I just chose a suburban school. Pickerington is a suburb of Columbus, and the Pickerington school system has 2 high schools, 2 junior high schools, 7 elementaries, a preschool, and an alternative school. So this is a good mid-sized district, which would give you an idea. About 10,600 students are enrolled at any given point in time, and Pickerington got $6,183,229.20. And by the way, you can look online and they'll tell you the formula. Of course, course, that's based on the number of students in the district, right? So according to the school system's online plan, this is what they published. I'm just going to give you a few tidbits here, because when I looked at several school systems plans, they're very elaborate. They're very, very thorough. And they're divided up into, you can see clearly the parts that are going to go for making up lost time in education and that sort of thing, and then the things that will be COVID related. So I'll just share the COVID related safety standards here, which I think you would be interested in. And again, you can find this online, because as of today, any school system getting money would have already posted their plan. And I looked at the state of Ohio has a website for this too, talking about how important it is for all the schools to get their plans in. All right, so the school system plans to, quote, follow mandates requirements required by the governor, Ohio Franklin Department of Health, and Ohio Department of Education. These mandates requirements may affect any and all proposed courses of actions. Masks will be optional, but will be made mandatory if the governor so orders. Physical distancing is not possible with a return to in-person learning, but frequent hand washing, cleaning, and maintaining healthy facilities and other mitigation protocols will remain. And then, quote, please be advised that we do not know to what extent Franklin County Public Health will still be enforcing quarantine protocols for COVID exposure during the 2021-2022 school year. The district therefore urges families to consider this as decisions are made about whether to wear masks or get vaccinations for this school year. End of quote. Links and resources for vaccination are provided for both staffs and students separately. They've already run vaccination clinics at the Pickerington schools. It was not clear if they were going to have more vaccination clinics at the school, but they did have locations nearby where people could go to get their vaccines. Contact tracing. Here's how it's going to work. If a student, teacher, or staff member tests positive for COVID-19, the school nurse will submit information about the case to the Franklin County Public Health Department. The principal will be notified so that the principal can start identifying close contacts, which they're defining as anyone who is within 6 feet for 15 minutes cumulative or longer, 48 hours for prior to the onset of symptoms. And if the person was no symptoms at all, asymptomatic, then the 48 hours starts on the date that the test actually took place. The principal also is supposed to identify any classrooms that a positive person was in and confirm the setup of the classroom, which should be configured for all students to remain 3 feet apart. And I think that's probably more for the grade schools where the kids stay put more than it is for the middle and high school students. If this is a case, if the distancing has been done, then the affected students or individuals would qualify for what's called modified quarantine, which means that the students can continue to come to school for in-person learning, but they have to wear masks covering their mouths and noses at all times, and all extracurricular activities are suspended for a period of time except for sports, which are allowed to continue on. The principal is also supposed to provide a close list of contacts to a staff person who creates a spreadsheet, and then this particular staff person who's designated, I mean, they have names and everything for the Pickerington thing. It's very detailed, but so it'll be different for your school system when you look into this. But anyway, the staff person, it takes attendance, and then it's noted whether it's going to be an excused absence for somebody who's not modified quarantine, for example. And then the staff member calls each close contact to notify the contacts that they've been exposed, and there's a close contact email that is then sent and followed up. All school families and staff are subsequently notified via email that a case has been identified in the building, and a class activity letter is sent to all students who have classes or activities who are identified with the person who's identified as a case. And the school is very careful to note that they follow the HIPAA rules, and the person's name who is a case will not be identified. Although when that person doesn't come to school or something of that nature, I think it might be pretty easy to figure out. So the bottom line is that this is the kind of plan that is being developed for every school system. I would imagine that school systems always need more money, so I can't fathom that they would turn it down. So most likely your school system has also applied for these funds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the newsletter on Monday, because it has links to the various different places where you can go, and you'll see what I'm talking about, help you find your own school system to look into this. So I think it's wonderful that the school has come up with such a detailed plan for keeping everybody safe. And if you want some information about how we intend to respond to this and help, my email address is pampopper@msn.com. Well, that's all for now. As usual, pass this on to anybody who you think would enjoy watching it, and I will be back to you tomorrow with more news.